Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Khaos Rx here, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Road to Chrome here on Call of Duty World War 2. In this episode we're going to be covering the LMGs. I'll try and sound a bit more lively than the last episode. Obviously we covered the shotguns then, and the shotguns are a bit dead. We don't like to talk about them, but the LMGs definitely a step up. It's weird how in this game the LMGs are actually probably your best class to go for. In the background you're going to be watching a lot of shipment, where I'm going to recommend these LMGs get used, but let's straight into the Lewis, the first gun here. So the Lewis is arguably the best of the default LMGs. On it we've got extender mags, because weirdly enough, to say this in an LMG only comes with 47 bullets in its mag. Up that to 97 with the extender mags, definitely needed. Rapid fire, and then also quick draw, because it's an LMG, obviously slow ADS. Rapid fire, because this thing does have quite low recoil, so you can actually use rapid fire. One thing with the Lewis I would like to say is the variants definitely improve this gun. The iron sights are a lot better with certain variants, especially with extender mags. On the default variant and also variants with just the regular magazine. Actually the iron sight's quite bad if you run that. So definitely go ahead and get a nice variant. You can get all the variants for free, the heroics, the epics, get them for free from Major Howard. And then go ahead, slap extender mags on there, you've got quite a nice gun. So when it comes to the vision, I'm running armoured obviously because shipment. You know, you're constantly getting nades thrown at you, even though you still can't survive getting double naded, which is quite annoying. And also concussions. Hunker is good, but it doesn't protect you against concussions, so you desperately need that. And also shell shock on shipment. It's just, I'd just go with armoured, just go all the way, instead of getting our boy Hunker. And then also we've got escalation, because the biggest problem with all the LMGs in pretty much every Call of Duty is the reload. And escalation, if you get a double kill, even if your streaks get a double kill, which is quite good, because you'll see in the background, in some of the gameplays when I call my paratroopers in, if they get a double kill, that reloads my gun for me, which is quite nice. So yeah, definitely a good class setup. Then we've also got the SAP there as the secondary, because it is the best pick in the game, SAP with extender mag. Alright, so moving on from the Lewis, we have next up got the MG15. This is a weird looking gun, to say the least. It kind of looks like a tube, with some iron sights on the top and a grip on the bottom. So the MG15 is kind of like the fast firing LMG. I do believe it is the fastest. On it we've got the red dots. The iron sights on this thing are quite atrocious, especially some of the variants. You can get ones which have like eggs as their reticles, but you know, just go with the red dot, they're a lot better. Grip, because this thing does have quite a bit of recoil, and extender mags, because this thing, like I said, is the fastest firing, but once again only 50 shots default, which isn't that good. Problem with the MG15 definitely is you kind of need to stack more attachments on it than you actually kind of can. I'd also like to take a grip into this thing, but you can, or rapid fire, but once again you can't. If you want to run infantry, you then obviously have to run hunker, but then you can't reload. I mean, you've got to then do the reload because you can't run escalation, so it gets a bit annoying. Kind of problem that a lot of guns run into in World War 2, which you can't build them up enough. So yeah, those are the attachments I'm running, and then the armoured again, and escalation again. Snap again. I'll give my opinions by the way on these LMGs when we rank them. Next up we have got the Bren. So the Bren here is the weird looking, these guns are all so weird looking to be fair. Apart from the MG42, the other three are a bit weird looking. The Bren here is a British gun. Obviously I am British if you didn't know that. Yeah, the Bren is quite nice. On it we've got red dot, grip and extender mags once again. The iron sights on this thing are horrible. Magazine capacity is quite low once again. It's weird how the LMGs in this game do have quite low magazine capacity default. And then grip, this thing has so much recoil to say it's like 2-shot kill and slow fire rate. It's not like the Gorgon or the Stinger, but it's like a slow 2-shot, but it's also got like very low recoil. This thing has actually quite low recoil, which is quite annoying, so grips definitely needed on there. Rapid fire also then increases that recoil, but once again, kind of like with the MG15, you kind of also want to put quick draw on this thing and rapid fire, but you can't, and also FMJ. You just can't do that, which is very annoying. And the last LMG you get here, or the first one if you quickly rank up your armoured, is the MG42. So the MG42 is the only one out of all these LMGs that was actually in World War, which is quite weird. You know, you thought when this game was game revealed, I thought that all the guns they were going to have were going to be World War remakes, just so we get more nostalgia. However, the MG42 is the only default LMG in this game which is actually in World of War. In the background here, you are seeing a gameplay that was uploaded to the channel. It is a 0 to 100 back on domination. If you've not seen that already, go ahead and check it out. On this thing, we've got red dot once again, extender mags once again, and once again quick draw, because again, only 50 bullets in a mag for an LMG is not that good, especially because the MG42 fires quite fast. Quick draw, because this thing does have quite low recoil, to be fair to it. And then red dot, because these iron sights are nice, but they're not Lewis levels of nice, they're okay. I just prefer the red dot. I think you're fine with the MG42. I think the MG42 is a critically underrated gun in this game. Alright guys, so let's get into the ranking then of these LMGs. At the bottom, I'd have to say the MG15. The MG15 is, like I said, you just can't stack attachments on it. And that's kind of the biggest killing point. If you want a fast firing LMG, just go ahead and get the MG42. It is very similar, however it just has less recoil, nice iron sights if you do go with the iron sights, and also classic is the MG42. We all love the MG42. You know, Reese, we all love the MG42. Next up, however, I would then put the Bren, and I think these two you could kind of go back and forth on which to bottom. They're kind of, I was like, when I was using the Bren, I was like, this thing's awful in some games, but then other games I popped off with, and I was like, this thing's good. Then the MG15, I was like, this gun's awful. Another game, this gun's great. So it kind of, you know, it goes back and forth between these two. Problem with the Bren is it is just simply outclassed by the Stinger in every way. Stinger has more bullets in it. Somehow has nice iron sights, even though Stinger's iron sights are also horrible. But somehow still better than Bren's. Better range, no recoil, it just is better. I think the reload might actually be worse than the movement speed. Like the mobility wise I think might be worse, but no recoil, better two shot, I think fires faster, it's just a better gun. So if you want to use something like the Bren, use Stinger, it's just infinitely better. Then again though, with the Bren, unlike the MG15, if you're on a head glitch with the Bren, which is how you should be playing with LMG as well, remember how you should be playing with them, it is kind of scumbaggy, but it is how I'd recommend it. The Bren can get some work done, as you see in the background. If you're just popping, you know, there's people, because those shots are doing 50 plus damage every time you fire it, you can melt some people. It has a very fast time to kill, sadly the recoil is quite heavy. And next up, I've got the MG42, which I feel like is very, very, very underrated in this game. MG42 is just solid, it's got a good fire rate, no recoil, good iron sights. You know, they're not perfect, but they're good enough. And yeah, it's a good gun. There's nothing really to say about it. However, it is outclassed by the number one position here, the Lewis. The Lewis is the best LMG default. It has the best iron sights, without a doubt. Very nice recoil pattern, you know, not too high. Good fire rate, good magazine. You know, it's just great. There's nothing wrong with the Lewis. That's just what I've got to say about it. Go with the Lewis. It's the best one. Plus you can get all the variants. I think you can actually get variants for the Bren too. I probably should mention that. You can get nice variants for the Bren. For the Lewis. Very nice gun. However, if we are talking all LMGs, I would have to say there's two I think are better than this, and that is the VMG and the Stinger. So what I mean by these is, if you're somebody who's playing like I'm playing in the background here with the Stinger, is behind the car on shipment here, the Stinger is the best one. It's the best one for just holding down, spraying. You've got 80 bullets, and you just spray with that two-shot gun. Great gun, no recoil. It can really dominate. However, if you're running around with it, it's not that good, especially when compared to the VMG, which is very good. And the VMG gameplay in the background here is a V2 rocket, which is actually not on shipment for once. It's the only good here which I'm not going to gameplay of on shipment. It's still good on shipment, but I feel like the VMG, with its handling, you can run it on maps which aren't shipment, so it's very good. So I'd say if you want to hold down an area, the Stinger. If you want to move around and actually play the game, I guess, VMG is actually probably the best LMG, because it takes the Lewis and just increases the mobility, I feel. For any tips on getting these things done, if you've not already done them, the best tip 100% is play shipment, get to A, do not cap C. People need to stop capping C on shipment. Do not cap it. You know, all you're doing is limiting the amount of kills you can get and screwing with the spawns. Like, just cap A and just hold A. Do not cap C, get B, sit on A on the head glitch, hold down that area with your Stingers. And yeah, that's probably the best way to get these things to gold. That's the way we did it. Getting them done quite quick, to be fair. Shipment, you can get like 40 kills. The game is like a bad game, to be fair. Probably like 80 is more realistic. But yeah, quite easy to get these things done, to be honest. Not weren't that hard, especially compared to the shotguns. Yeah, I'd definitely recommend them. In the next episode, we are going to be covering the pistols, which is going to be quite a contrast to this video. This video is quite easy. That video is going to be Hain. Just pain. Yeah, that's been the LMGs. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll see you guys in the next one.